My name is Jenny, and this is Creating Crafts with Jenny. And I upload on 2 days a week, one on Monday and one on Wednesdays currently. And possibly and shortly we may be doing Fridays, but that's a work in progress. On Mondays I do Dollar Tree Mondays, so you'll see something from the Dollar Tree brought into, and we will talk about that related to crafts and paint and that sort of thing, to help you keep your budget on track with your crafts. And then on Wednesday, you just never know. We'll throw some paint on a canvas and see how it turns out. If you would hit that subscribe button, I sure would appreciate it. If you're on Facebook, hit that follow button. It's, I don't know, they move it around every once in a while. So hit those subscribe and follow buttons. I sure would appreciate it. Share my videos. You're more than welcome to do that also. Okay. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do kind of like the battle of paints. On one side over here, down here, I have clear glue from Elmer's Glue, and it's hiding over here, as you can kind of see over here in the corner. I've got clear glue and I've got regular Elmer's Glue, and I'm going to mix those two items with micropowder. Micropowder is a powder, obviously. A lot of people use it with resin, and I'm not a big resin fan. I wish I was, but I'm not. I like acrylic paints, and I'm just happy to be playing with paints with them. But I have 3 acrylic paints. I've got kind of an iridescent pearly color. They don't have colors on them, so I'm just kind of guessing at what they are. I've got a copper color here. I've got like a bronzy gold, maybe even kind of a pewter. And on the other side here, I have 4 different reds. I've got one that's called Speedy. I've got Apple Barrel. Here's Speedy. I don't know where it came from. In my stash. Tester's Craft, that's one of my favorites. And this is a red rocket. And I have another Tester's Craft here called Stop Sign. So Stop Sign Red. So I have some reds here. I have my handy dandy, this is Dollar Tree, bowl that I'm going to pour these paints in, and then we're going to put it on this canvas. These paints over here I'm going to mix with Floetrol, and I've got a big old cup of it here. And so we're going to get mixing, and as soon as I get them all mixed up, and now the clear glue, I'm going to talk about this a little bit, what I'm doing here. I put the micropowder in, I used my poor little broken spoon, my little spoon there, and I just got a little bit of color in there. This color goes a long way. So what I'm going to do is stir these up, and then I'll mix in the glue. For some reason, if you do it all together, they kind of get clumpy, and the success rate is not what I want it to be. And I don't want my stir sticks. Okay, there's stir sticks over here. Okay. Alright. So I'm going to mix these up and let them sit for just a second. By the time I get done with all these, some of the bubbles just a little bit of, let me shake this up, a little bit of a pillow of white, just so the paint can have something to kind of run around on. I got the blow dryer handy somewhere. Yes, the blow dryer's right there. Okay, so now I'm going to put some Elmer's Glue, just a little bit, in each of these. If I leave it just with the clear glue, the paint just doesn't dry right. For some reason, and it depends on what. Sometimes when I say it doesn't dry right, it doesn't dry the way I want it to, but it dried. It was interesting the way it dried. It was more, had like bubbles in it, and the bubbles kind of stayed, which is kind of interesting. you can see all the big bubbles coming up in that. The white glue seems to kind of calm down the clear glue, and so it just makes the paint just perfect. Those big bubbles popping in there. Yeah. Alright. Those bubbles kind of come to the surface and pop, and we're just going to layer it in here. I think what I'm going to do is in my little cup is I'm going to put these colors in the bigger cup down here, and I may do white in between the reds because I want a chemical reaction, a good one, not a bad one, not like burning that down the house for concoction. But I'm going to just layer them as they are, not put anything in between them. These guys, I think I'm going to put a little bit of the white in between. So pour them in here. Usually I take my stir stick out. Just make it easier to pour your cups if your stir stick's gone. Just throw some white in here. I got black over here too if you get tired of using the white. The black might be fun to do too. Yeah, let's throw some black in there. Black. Let's just. There we go. You guys can see what I'm doing here. Sorry, I'm like hogging the. That's a lot of paint. It's getting heavy. I mean, not heavy, but it will feel the paint in here, that's for sure. Okay. Enough of that. Alright, these guys. Set this down for just a second here. Oh my gosh, my stir stick is, look at it, it's bleeding on it, so I'm going to have this weird, I was like, yeah, they won't bleed. Wrong. Goodness gracious. I usually don't use the colorful. I bought them because I thought they were cute, but I prefer the non-colored ones, but it's like, well, I want to hurry up and stir instead of grabbing them. The non-colored ones, I should say. Okay, let's get these out of the way here. Okay. And I'm going to grab some gloves because this is going to get me. Here we go. Kind of let this kind of settle. You can see some of the bubbles in there, but that's okay. You ready for this? Alright, here we go. Goodness gracious. I guess I can drop it. Oh my goodness. Oh my lands. Oh my god. Okay, let's torch it. I'm gonna get some of those bubbles out of there before they get trapped. Oh my god, these colors are gorgeous. I'm just going to let it sit there for a minute and just kind of let it do its own thing. I like how it trapped. Okay, here we go. Let me see if I can keep that here. My goodness. Oh my Lord. Look at that. There's a lot of paint on here. Oh my lands. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Oh. Ah. What's this in here? Oh. It's going off the mat. Which is cool because I get skins, right? Yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna grab. Hold on. Ah, tripped on me. Okay. There we go. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh wow. I don't know if the camera's. Let me clean up for just a second here. I'm always at pants about grabbing my camera and like come closer. Let me see if I can get it to come closer without it feeling at me. Okay, let me see if I can bring it closer. Sorry, guys. Okay. Alright, we'll stop. I'll let the world of computers do their thing. But oh my lands. I mean, it's like rich. And I mean, it's. Oh my gosh. Let me torch it. Oh my god. I'm hoping that it dries as gorgeous as it looks right now. I don't know. I mean, you always take a chance that something happens when it dries and it cracks or does something like that. Sorry about that. I'm just gonna rub my face. It is unbelievable. I mean, it's just dark and it's not spring and summer on this painting. It is absolutely gorgeous. I kind of want to, well, you know I do. Kind of want to throw some glitter on it. But I don't think I'll just do willy-nilly. I think I'll just kind of, let me see what colors I got. I have a pink. I have a pink and a purple. Okay, let me see. Let me see what I can do here. Okay. Itty bit. Okay, so I'm going to put a little purple. Now, this paint here is starting to show itself. This little guy here, because he already has glitter in it, and I think that was the only iridescent that I had was this one. And you just never know when you mix them with Floetrol how they're going to come out, but I can see it in here and it looks amazing. I like how it's got specks coming around. It's really cool. I didn't want to do that. Okay, since I did it. Okay. Ah, I'll stop. Yeah, I didn't mean to dump that there. Let me see. See what I can do here. I kind of liked left it without glitter right there, and then what do? I just pour all glitter up over it. And you can see underneath there are colors now. It's just kind of like mixing colors here. That's okay. Okay, I'm gonna stop. But like I said, if it dries anything like it looks right now, if it doesn't do anything weird, and I can see a little, which the paint is stretching and kind of making it, it's kind of fighting for the surface, so it's paint's coming up out of the, there's a lot of paint on here, believe me. I poured a bunch of paint on this small canvas. This canvas looks like it's about 8 by 12 maybe. It's not huge, but I could see doing this on a really big canvas. If it dries, here's what I'll do. If it dries like I want it to, and hope that it does, I will do one of my bigger paintings with this kind of concept. I loved the idea of doing this bowl. I swear, this thing, I made this when I first started doing YouTube and doing paintings. And I made this guy, and it's just a Dollar Tree. It's plastic. But the cool thing is I can control, if the paint will let me, control, oh, look at what it's doing. It's fighting for space. But the cool thing is I can put whatever I want to in here. I can put anything I want to down here and keep them separate until they go on to the canvas. I could have put this canvas on top and done a flip, and it all will come out. I like the idea of being able to pour. I can pour from the side, I can pour from over here, and this would slowly get into this over here because obviously you're pouring at a different angle. And I usually end up with some of the prettiest designs in my bowl. I mean, look at that. Look at those colors. And I usually just let it sit and dry like it does. So I'm hoping, let me see if I can move this a little bit. I don't want to knock things over. Something I normally do. But it is, oh my, I mean, what it's doing here is just absolutely amazing. And the sides are just, oh my gosh. They are, I can't really see that side because I don't want to pick it up and disturb it. But it is looking really neat. And my paper's a mess down here, but that's okay. Yeah, I'm hoping that the paint doesn't crack and do that sort of thing. I hope it stays. I'd like for it to stay just as it is, just perfect like that. It would be absolutely perfect. But we all know that once they dry, sometimes they take on a different look. But this is, I mean, it's like I said, it's rich and it's kind of exotic looking, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. I love how, I wish you guys can see it. Let's see. I think as it drops, I'm leaving for the weekend, and I'll be able to see it on Monday. But down here, I may take some pictures of it before I leave here in a couple hours. This right here, it's kind of like these colors are, let's see if I can point and not get into it. Okay, so right in here, these areas right here, it's kind of like, because the white and the gray was one of these guys, so it's like the white, I guess I have white over there in that too. But they're kind of like, I don't know what you would even call that, webbing, or it's not really webbing. it's just kind of like there's lines in the paint, and it's just kind of like a graphic. I mean, look at this right here. I mean, if that stays like that, oh my gosh. I mean, it just looks like it's, and all this right here is just absolutely gorgeous. I mean, yeah, if somebody said, yeah, I want your painting, I'd probably give it to them, but I kind of, that thing out of my face. Get out of here. But I really like the way this is turning out. It is absolutely gorgeous. I will take as many pictures as I can before and after. And yeah, I mean, this right here, it's just, imagine if I look at it long enough, I'd probably see some characters, you know, the cats and dogs and faces and stuff like that. I don't see anything yet. But yeah, it is gorgeous. Well, listen. I'm going to get off here and let this dry, and I will take some really good pictures, and I will probably put the pictures right about here like I normally do. And as always, hit that subscribe button if you want to see more of this on a bigger canvas. That would be, I think that's what's going to happen. So as always, what do I always say? Go out there, be great, be awesome, and do your thing, right? Okay. So I'm going to get off here, and I will see you in my next video. See you soon.